Ever so often during my photographic journey, I would stumble across moments of revelation, which was actually nice because most of the time I was literally throwing spaghetti at the wall. But today I want to share one of these aha moments with you because doing this drastically improved my photographic eye and changed the way I see the world. Cool, huh? When I first bought my first real camera, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. In fact, I had a very difficult time translating what I saw in the real world to meaningful photos. I think this is a common issue with beginners in photography because there's a lack of understanding between learning how to use a camera and learning how to train your eyes. In fact, it's probably one of the most common questions I see in forums and groups to this day. Someone will post a beautiful photo on there, and the comment section will be filled with people asking what the camera settings were or what recipe or preset they used. And I too fell into this fallacy that if I only knew the perfect camera setting for each scene, then I too would be able to take professional photos. Or thinking someone's photos are better than mine simply because they're using a particular Fujifilm recipe or a Lightroom preset that I didn't have. The truth is, that person took that beautiful photograph because they had trained their eyes to do so, and well-trained eyes can translate the real world and extract beautiful images from it. Now, eye training has many layers to it, so this is a topic I want to cover further on this channel as I think it's far more important than anything else when learning photography. But in today's video, I want to show you how you can start to train your eyes to see highlights and shadows, which are free from distraction, a way to truly see how the camera behaves to different lighting intensities, and how you can begin to pursue lighting conditions in the real world that will translate into interesting images. And I'm going to tell you how to do this right now. Are you ready? You just shoot in black and white. When you shoot in black and white, you remove a very large proponent to the image, which is color, obviously. And now you might say, Landon, I don't want to make black and white images. I want my images to be colorful. Well, funny enough, I said the same thing when I was first starting out. I wanted to shoot a very specific style of image, but unfortunately at the time, the images I was taking and the images I was envisioning in my head weren't even on the same planet anyways. So I figured playing around with different styles might teach me a few things along the way. And boy, did it ever. In fact, within a month of shooting exclusively black and white, I had already noticed a fairly significant improvement to my composition and interplay of highlights and shadows. So much so that I actually shot exclusively black and white for about 6 months until I felt I had truly grasped the concept of being able to see light in the real world and know how it translates to an image. Only then did I start to add color back to my workflow. So today I'm going to show you how to do this using your camera. The camera I was shooting on at the time was a Fuji X100, which is a mirrorless camera, and this granted me the ability to preview the world in black and white as the camera sees, without the distraction of color. Now let me preface by saying this technique only works on mirrorless cameras, and maybe not everyone either. So if you have a DSLR, this will not work. However, I will share an exercise with you at the end. Fuji X series cameras are really easy. All you have to do is simply find a black and white recipe and leave it there. If your camera has different black and white recipes, you can feel free to play around with them, but don't get too caught up on what they do. All we're looking for right now is to subtract color. On Sony cameras, you need to go into the menu and look for something called Color Profile. And on Nikon, it's something called Picture Control. On Canon, it's called Picture Style. Now, there's obviously more brands than that, but I think that should give you an idea on what to look for. For DSLR shooters, you're going to need a way to convert your images to black and white via a phone, tablet, or computer. Now, I prefer Lightroom, but I'm sure there's others as well. The goal really is just to get those images to black and white in post somehow. Now for the exercise. Go find some scenes that have different variations of light and shadow. This could include some flatly lit images on a cloudy day, or some interior shots where there's light shining into a dark part of a room, some pictures of faces, both inside and out. Basically just a whole bunch of different lighting situations. And once you have a nice variety of them, we're going to bring them into a piece of software and remove color if you're shooting on a DSLR, or if you already shot them in black and white, just import them to a computer or a tablet where you can see the images a bit clearer. So once we're at that stage, pick an image and study where the highlights and shadows are within a scene. See if the image holds any interest without color. On the images that do have interest without color, try to explain why. What are the highlights and shadows doing in that scene? How are they interacting with the subject? How are they creating interest or emotion? How are they helping to compose the frame? Once you've notated and curated these images, go do it again. Try to find more scenes with similar lighting conditions and keep practicing this technique until you can accurately predict the outcome of highlights and shadows within a scene. Anyways, I think that's enough rambling from me, but go give it a go, and I think in time you'll be surprised how quickly you can begin to unravel the beauty of light and shadow by simply removing such a large element as color. Anyways, see you guys later, and I'll catch you in another video.